Hey friends, Muzz coming from Reborn Minds, Body, Soul. And if you're watching this, you believe in new beginnings and becoming your own ultimate superhero. Now my intention for this video is to express to you something that I've been going through for the last 48 hours. Come out the other side, there are some repercussions from it, but I can't wait to talk to you guys about this one. So what do you do if your best is not good enough? Alright, so let's get into it. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into it. All right. You know what? Standing on the edge of life is sometimes exciting, you know? Could be a little bit treacherous, you know? Could be a little bit risque, but at the same time, it's exciting. Exciting to stand on the edge of life, you know? At the cliffside of what is possible, at the cliffside of pushing through reality, pushing through paradigms that are, once were scary, is now able to accomplish easily. So, what do you do when your best is not good enough? This is a concept that has happened to me over the last 48 hours. And you know what? I've gone through such a gauntlet, but you know what? Sometimes I'm starting to realize these gauntlets are amazing and I wouldn't want them any other way. I kind of lost myself on Thursday emotionally, and it was because I had these high expectations of self. I had these ideologies that I could do something, that I could accomplish something, and believe me, I know I can, and you can too. And part of the reason why I want to talk to you guys about this, because I love sharing insights that have helped me on my journey with you guys, and maybe in the intention that I share an insight that happened to me, it can help you. And so when this happened, I lost myself emotionally just because I set the standard so high and my expectation was so high. And when I set an expectation in my mind and I don't accomplish it, this is when the self-hatred comes on, the boxing gloves just inside my brain, just boom, 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 boom. Man, that day I think I meditated like 5 times, to be honest, just to expend all that self-hate and unimpressment with self. And so what I got to come to was, you know what? I went through like this 48-hour portal of like just self-hatred and deep, meticulous thinking of I'm not good enough, I can't do this, and then what's happening? Like I was questioning so much, but in these hours of questioning, it made me double down. I read the rest of my sales book that day, you know, and guys, I'm gonna tell you, I had an opportunity to quit. I was so close to quitting, but then I thought of it. I thought of all the words I've been listening to over the years. I'm like, if I quit, how am I ever gonna get up? If I fall down on my back, how am I ever gonna get up? So I'm not gonna quit through this. But it was so confusing because what do you do when your best isn't good enough? You know, that feeling sucks. That feeling really does suck, is when you are putting your all on the table and it's still not good enough, you know? That girl, she doesn't recognize you. Or maybe that boy that you've been hanging out with doesn't see your potential. Or your boss doesn't see what you can bring to the table. Or your parents never really admired your accomplishments, you know? This thirst for recognition is built into our system. It's that, how do we acknowledge it and then keep moving forward and let it go? You know, that's the practice, at least what I've seen on my journey, is how do you deepen the letting go? So when your best is not good enough, that's time to take a step back, guys. That's why I'm here right now, in nature. You got to come back to nature. Now, sometimes we think, at least I've found on my journey, I've witnessed some of the others, it's like, it's not working, I'll be more fanatical. It's not working, I'll try harder. It's not working, push through. Tony Robbins, motivation. Like banging your head against the rock, you know what I mean? But the question is like, I'm going to talk to you guys about a story, okay? There's this story that there's 2 guys that they was sharpening their axe. One guy stopped, took breaks, and chopped wood periodically throughout the day, ate. The other guy just chopping all the way through, 12 hours. The one guy that sharpened the axe chopped 4 times more wood. And the other guy just dulled, chopping through the whole time in chopped about a fourth of the wood. Now, that can happen to us, guys. Just because you have all this motivation, like, and I'm speaking for myself here, guys, just because I have all this motivation and moving through all this and pushing through, becoming so fanatical about accomplishing a goal or accomplishing something, doesn't mean that that's necessarily the correct way to do it, is push through it. It's like, you know what? You look at like Chinese martial artists, is like they're all about conservation of energy and using just the right amount of energy. So just because you force your way through it and become fanatical doesn't necessarily mean that that is the correct way to do it. You know, maybe take a step back. You know, what are you doing in your life right now that you're just pushing your way through? I gotta go, I gotta survive, I gotta do more, I gotta work harder, I gotta read more. In that space, the brain, that's very intense for the mind, you know, that's very intense for the mind. But if we can let it go and take a step back and ask ourselves, you know, how am I being in life? Is this what I want? Am I creating what I want to create? And by these moments of us getting tested, at least what I found when my best is not good enough, is that it makes me double down. I double down on everything. I reevaluate everything, and all of a sudden, new information comes in. I just got a course, another course just came to me, and another book recommendation. And in the last 24 hours, all these things have basically I went through this, like, I called it like an ayahuasca journey in the last 48 hours, and a whole portal opened up. So when you're on your journey, just ask yourself, if it's not working out, am I doing it correctly, or is this the best way I could be doing it right now? Am I getting the most out of what I'm doing right now? Is this actually the most efficient? And if it isn't, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes our best is not good enough, and that's okay. Does that mean we stop? Absolutely not. That means, okay, let's stop, let's reevaluate, but let's keep moving, because if we quit, we're never going to make it through it. So if you're right now watching this and your best isn't good enough, I'm here with you. And I'm going to say to you, you're amazing, and your best is good enough, okay? So take off the self-hatred boxing gloves and open yourself up and give yourself a nice little hug on the inside, okay? I share my peace and I share my love.